Halo. Halo. Waaw. Fañu toll bu soree oto bu ko wax. Bu ci ay dugal ci koñ bi ak boo dee ba ci biir kii commencé am rek ñu ñëpp koy naan.
Good afternoon, friends. So, Gambian border. And I have to be fair, man, we had a monumental traffic jam. Something really bad had happened. Because there were about 2 miles of trucks and buses. Some of the cars had managed to get through and around. The driver, there were 2 drivers, they switched halfway, but the primary one sent the other one on the back of a motorcycle to scout for a way around it. We ended up doing an end run around this entire small town. But anyway, hello mate. I didn't want to say anything at that point because Jinx isn't just an awesome character in Arcane. But that was the easiest border so far by a long way. I was in and out in 100 seconds. Brilliant. Anyway, my guest house here is pretty much on the beach, and I tell you, I'm going to get there for about 4 o'clock, I reckon. Thank you. There's no such thing as a jinx. And then I'm going to go for a swim. Right, well, we're at Barra, which is the north side of the river, to get across to Banjul, which is the capital, and we're waiting for the ferry. Unfortunately, we got here about 10 minutes after the ferry left. So it's anything between half an hour and an hour and a half waiting for the next one. But still, I have food, I have water. The coach is air conditioned. It's really been a very good journey, actually. And there is some very enthusiastic kid who's trying to sell me a cold beer for an absolute fortune. Anyway. Right, so I did end up paying a rather extortionate, I suppose it's what, €3, but it's cold and I am going to be here for a while, so fair enough. And once I get to the other side, all I have to do is find an ATM and then take a 10-minute taxi ride to where I'm staying on the point. Looking forward to getting there. I mean, it's been a pretty easy kick today. And the air-conditioned coach, I was right at the front, coincidentally. But, and like I said, the border was just done, which was brilliant. Anyway, cheers. Good afternoon, friends. So, I'm having fun. I'm off to watch the football, but having made a slight mistake with my time zones, I realised that it was on in 15 minutes instead of an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm currently hiking to get to a place that is probably going to be able to have it on in 27-degree heat. Although with the football shirt on, I kind of blend into the Africans more. That is the answer to the question why there are no pigeons here, because those are all birds of prey. Careful, Jeffrey, you're going to get wet boots. Oh, hello. Good afternoon, friends. So, I've been in Gambia for a week. I'm staying for another week because A, I think the next couple of months are going to be tough. I think so. So, and B, because for less than 20 euros a night, I've scored essentially a mini apartment. Indoors, it has a large bedroom with an ensuite bathroom, albeit the water pressure isn't all that. And outdoors, undercover is a kitchen, a full kitchen with an oven, and a terrace of my very own with a wall and an outside lockable door, which is pretty epic. So I'm just having a little bit of a holiday while I do that. Also, I like this place. The Gambia is, especially after the Sahara, lush. I am surrounded by seriously old growth trees. Also, the people are super friendly. Everyone's saying hi, calling out, saying hi, and for no particular reason, just saying hi. I mean, I hold absolutely no resentment towards people who are like, hello, my friend, how are you? Where are you from? And they want you to buy their product or use their taxi or something. No resentment. They're just trying to make a living. But here, people are just saying, hi, how are you? You're that weird British guy who walks around everywhere, which is quite a rare thing in these parts. But yes, anyway. So today's mission was highly successful. I went to the Guinea-Bissau embassy and spoke to an actual human and sorted out my visa for next week. Walked in, the security guard let me in, walked in. There was 4 people having a conversation, including one very cool looking lady with a very big smile. And she says, I think you must be here for a visa. I was like, yeah. She goes, my friend there will help you. And led me through. I sat down, and as she left, she says, oh, by the way, I'm the ambassador. Brilliant. A little bit of back and forth, and I've got my visa already set up for next Friday. The other angle is Guinea, which I'm going to go into the week after that, and that necessitates an e-visa system. Ugh. I miss the old days sometimes, because the e-visa website, it says verify your email, very important. I said fine, no problem. Press the button, verification failed 10 times, and it's the only way to get an authorized visa apparently. So that is a problem that I must surmount. Anyway, walking back along to my little room, which is less than 100 meters from the sea. I like this place. Anyway, hope you're all doing good. 2 additional observations. Number 1 is over my head. See the birds? There are birds of prey in every single tree. They're just soaring on the thermals, which is why I have yet to see a mouse, a rat, a pigeon. They just hang around there and dive, which is quite cool. Anyway,